Good morning and welcome to another version of the IwIn Breakfast Show. My name is David Sand. I'm CEO of IwIn International. Today on our show, I'm very proud to introduce you to one of our superstars, Nobahle.
Thank you for having me.
Nobahle, tell me a little bit about the role that you've come into.
I started on the 23rd of March, so I've been here for about 3 weeks, and I am an account manager.
So just to elaborate on that start, I remember you were in the office, people were leaving the office, half our team was already working from home, and then you had to go home after about 4 or 5 days. How did that feel?
That was so hectic, but in so many ways I felt incredibly blessed because in a time of emergency where people are losing their jobs, I gained a job. But it was quite hectic. But with the support of all the IwIn sort of colleagues, they've been really great.
Tell the audience a little. What was your previous roles before you coming to IwIn?
I'm a marketing professional, so I started in real estate. After real estate, I went into outdoor media, being cinema. After that, before that, I did telecommunications. Now, here I am.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit your first impressions of the incentive and royalty industry.
Well, my first impressions were, why didn't I think of this? Or why didn't I get hold of IwIn in my early days? Because there were times, especially when I was working in FMCG, where I needed a incentive and loyalty program on my side. It's a really important industry, especially in times like these where a lot of South Africans are facing remote work for the very first time in their careers, and there's a lot of things to consider.
I'm certainly hoping that for young South Africans in our economy, we'll be able to help them and their businesses get back to work in a far more productive way, so that South Africa can really rise again on the global economy scale. You joined an internal virtual team to look at innovation during this time. Give me some feedback on that.
I am so grateful, firstly, for to Adeshola in Nigeria, shout out to her, and to Ghana, and to Annabelle in Ghana for including me in the discussions and sort of roping me in and showing me the ropes when it comes to everything. One of the things that we spoke about was how to keep staff motivated and how to keep them focused and disciplined and all of that during this time. And we strongly believe that there are several really simple ways, simple and productive ways that can keep staff at home motivated, keep them focused, and keep them even more productive than they usually are in the office. And recognition is really such an important thing right now, because when you don't see people every day, you don't want your staff to feel isolated or for people to feel like they're working in silos. So now is the perfect time for managers to really recognize the efforts of their team, their employees, and more so than they have in the past.
Yeah, I think you're so right there. When people are isolated, it's even harder to give them the pat on the back. So talk to me a little bit about in the reward space, when your innovation team were discussing rewards, what did you think about there?
With regards to rewards, in these tough and uncertain times, the rewards don't have to cost a fortune, because I know a lot of companies are really buckling down, not wanting to spend a lot, but it doesn't have to cost a fortune. It goes a really long way in stimulating greater performance from them and also stimulating that long-term loyalty. The simplest way to reward is with an on-the-spot reward that can be received the same day, and IwIn would be able to implement that quite easily actually for clients.
So great feedback from the innovation team. Keep going on that. For all of our listeners, thank you so much for listening to another version of The Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much for having me, David. It's been a great chat.
I hope you enjoyed meeting Nobahle online as much as I enjoyed interviewing her today. Thank you, and big high five to you.